Hello Aquarius, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal, the Crystalline Priestess, and we are having a look at your July. So we have Grand Cross Provoker coming out with Libra I Balance. So relationships are coming out for people left, right and bloody center this month. I think Venus going retrograde really has a lot to do with that. I think that the South Node moving into Libra as well has a lot to do with that. So something's been putting the pressure on you for a while, Aquarius. I feel like there's a level of imbalance that you've been experiencing for quite a while that really this month I think that like maybe it's coming to a head. I think that it feels like there's a sense of validation that you were seeking externally from somebody. This could even be a parental figure. For so long, and I feel like it's literally gotten you to a point of resentment, to a point of like, you know, I feel like you want someone's validation and yet you fucking almost hate them at the same time. Like, it's kind of weird. This Grand Cross Provoker, it just feels like someone really provokes you. Someone really annoys you. And you know what, I think for a lot of you guys, I think that maybe you guys have some mummy daddy issues. It feels like these feelings stem from an inner child sort of thing. It feels like they come from your roots. It feels like they come from subconscious patterns and beliefs that you have, because I feel like with this Libra I Balance, this Knight came out in the reverse, which means shadow attributes, the allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. So I think that you guys might have grown up in very emotionally chaotic households. You guys might have had parents that were very, you know, that were always at odds with one another, that were always fighting with another. We have Venus love underneath that. So, you know, Venus is just really doing a doozy on everyone, I think, this month. The amount of every single reading that I've done has pretty much been about relationships, and I didn't intend for any of them to be about relationships. So it's just what's going on at the moment. The thing is, I feel like you have a love for love. You have unconventional love. You're an Aquarius, but you really do have a big heart and a compassionate heart. I feel like with this Knight coming out, you know, the light attributes is loyalty, romance and chivalry, a love of honor. You have like a purity about you in some ways, and I think that what you've grown up witnessing was just very different to, I think, what you as an adult now feel like you want to experience, you know what I mean? We have the lover archetype. It says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Shadow attributes, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. So both of these have shadow attributes that are about the same. So this is definitely a message to be discerning about the relationships that you keep, because for some of you, you tend to attract people that maybe have a little bit, oh my god, that are energy vampires. You know, you tend to attract people who siphon your energy more so than give you energy, and that's probably a result of, you know, things that we picked up as kids. We tend to live out our parents' karma, you know, we tend to attract similar people to them or opposite people to them, you know, but there's always something that stands out. So look, we have the child archetype coming out. So your inner child, like we talked about already, is really in the mix at the moment, because I feel like the month of July has got you trying to find a very, it's got you trying to find a healthy way of love. You know, I think that you guys are focused on finding love, or maybe getting out and connecting with people a little bit more and having nice harmonious relationships with others. I think that it's something that you're becoming more and more open to at the moment, because when I first got into your energy I felt really cold. It was weird. It was almost like there was no warmth. So I feel like maybe because you guys grew up in a lot of situations, for some of you guys you definitely had situations with parents that have affected your romantic partnerships as an adult. No, my throat's going. Oh no, my water's over here. Oh man. Sorry guys, I'm sick. Yeah, I think that a lot of you guys felt like you couldn't use your voice growing up. You couldn't tell your parents the truth. You couldn't speak up. You weren't able to speak up. The vampire archetype says, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. So literally, like I said, discernment is really important because you tend to find yourself in relationships with people that drain your energy. And I think someone might be coming in this month, or you're just feeling very, very lovey-dovey this month. I think that you're really open to a new relationship now. You're really in a very romantic sort of like high vibrational energy. And so this Grand Cross is coming out because, you know, it's not all perfect. I think that you really need to be careful about why you want someone. I think that, you know, definitely listen to your songs, especially the first one, Landslide. No, not Landslide. That's funny though. Maybe listen to Landslide too by Stevie Nicks. But what was it called? Landfill by Daughter. 5 of Swords. Judgment, yeah. 9 of Swords. 6 of Swords. You guys are really, really in your heads this month. And it's about someone. Queen of Cups. Knave of Pentacles. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So that doesn't surprise me at all. We have 2 knights out here. You guys are in a really, like I said, like I feel like you guys are quite optimistic. I feel like you guys have been in an energy for quite a long time where it feels like pressure cooked. Every time I see this card, I think of a pressure cooker. I just think of like all this pressure being put on someone to make a change, to do something differently, to sort of change things up and to have a different sort of lifestyle, to do things in a different way. And I feel like this month, July, it's really going to have you needing to sort of like face some of this this energy, because you've been in it for a long time and you're ready to move out of it now. But I think that there's a part of you that's still like comfortable in, you know, I think fantasizing more so than actually getting out there and experiencing things. I think especially when it comes to relationships, there's an energy of maybe like being like head in the clouds and thinking about stuff and not really ever going out and like actually trying to like, you know, get out and meet people or go on dates with the person that you're spending time with. You know, it kind of feels like because of where you've been at for so long, like you haven't had the energy, you haven't had the time, you haven't even had the willpower or desire to really focus much on love or relationships. But this month that's changing. I think that you're seeing that like your perception of relationships and of partnerships and romance was distorted because of what you experienced growing up. What you experienced in the past, even with other relationships that you've had. It's kind of painted a picture in your mind for, oh, okay, well, all relationships are going to be this way, and that's not true. There's a new opportunity here. There's something new that's beginning. I think that you guys have recently possibly met someone, but I feel like this person, you know, it makes you kind of uncomfortable because it brings stuff up. It's bringing up anxiety. It's bringing up fear. You've had your walls up for a long time. Oh, look, Temperance and the 6 of Wands. Look, you're going to be so successful. Look, I love this. You're going to be really successful in your healing journey with the 6 of Swords by really allowing yourself to get back out there with a fresh, optimistic perspective. With this Child Eternal, it says determination to remain young in body, mind and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Temperance and the 6 of Wands. So this is you finding like, you know what? This is you being actually recognized for the healing that you've done. I think that people that you know, people that are close to you, family members even, people that you have known for a long time even, they're going to see, because they've seen the chapter of life, the period that you've been in, they're about to see you in another chapter, and it's going to be really shocking to them. You're about to sort of bring yourself out from the shadows, I think. You know, it's time to grow up. I feel like you guys are growing up in in ways that sort of the universe forced you with this Grand Cross Provoker. I feel like relationships and love is something that has been very much a trigger for your spirit in order to learn healthy boundaries and healthy connections, healthy reciprocity, you know what I mean? I feel like for a lot of you guys, you really had experiences where one parent was maybe abusing or exploiting another parent. You know, it just feels like things were energetically out of alignment. And so you've manifested similar situations in your own reality as you've grown up. In July, we have the Queen of Cups and the Five of Swords. There's going to be some heated, possibly arguments, some emotional explosions, I think, that might happen between you and family members. That might happen between you and this person that I've been talking about, this connection, this romantic sort of like opportunity. It feels like this, what I'm saying, like an emotional explosion. Really what I'm kind of saying is I feel like there needs to be a conversation about I think what you guys are looking for, what you need, where you're at. You guys have a very tender heart, I feel like, because that's the thing, Aquarius, you guys like tend to be so detached, emotionally detached. You're like the least emotional sign, and yet you also oppose Leo. Two sides of the same coin. You may come off like you don't give a fuck, but the truth is you do, because you really actually do care. You are opposing Leo. Leo is the heart. So, you know, your heart needs love too. You can't isolate yourself forever. There's just a feeling of, I think, victimization that comes in for you sometimes as well, that kind of keeps you from wanting to explore new connections, because I think that you really have been through some toxic shit, and so it's easier sometimes to revert back to that victim mentality and that victim awareness than it is to sort of empower ourselves and to look at things with fresh eyes and to look at things from a fresh perspective. You guys are going to find that, look, we have the strength underneath the Six of Swords, so, you know, you guys are really going to be putting in the effort towards your healing, I think, this month. This is a month where you're really focused on unraveling the childhood wounding that you have that keeps you from having healthy romance. It's literally as simple as that. It just feels like you're doing the work with this Judgment and Knight of Wands. You guys have been on this journey for a long time. You've been on this path for a long time. It feels like you guys, you know, in a way you're fucking exhausted because you're tired of dealing with people and dealing with relationships. It always feels like the last person that you dealt with, relationship-wise, that was sort of toxic and wasn't really the right fit. It feels like that was the final straw, like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, some of you guys might have gone celibate. Some of you guys might have literally just been like, okay, fuck relationships, I'm not even interested right now. This person was such a fucking vampire that I just don't even, like, I feel like I need to go get my fucking soul back. You know, so it feels like they really turned you off, and you've come to a point now where your energy is ready to open up again. You're ready to expand into the possibility of potentially having a romantic connection with someone again. You know, it's early days, but it's the beginning of something really exciting, and it's kind of like you're being called out of your cave now. I feel like you have this perception of yourself as being wounded. I even feel like you see yourself sometimes as being sick. Like, some of you guys might have some, like, struggle with mental health, and you might really have some really harsh ways of thinking about yourself and to yourself. Like, if you could hear the way you talk to yourself in your own mind, you would be shocked, I think. I just saw 1444 on the camera, so you've built a foundation up in your own mind that's been created from your own parents' beliefs about themselves. They probably didn't have the self-esteem, good self-esteem. They probably didn't have a good sense of self-awareness. And so you have developed, like, you know, your own inner dialogue that has a similar tinge. You probably heard your parents say to themselves, oh, you're just a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? And so you do the same thing. Okay, that's why they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's because they're in the same fucking vineyard. They're right there. The apple fucking lands on the ground. The apple, I don't know, that was stupid. But the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, okay? You know what, let's get advice. Let's get advice for Aquarius when it comes to love in July, because they're really going through some weird sort of like, it feels like you're being dragged out. It feels like you're being dragged out. We have the Strength card, we have the Magician, we have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Strength and the Magician. How good is that? We have the World and we have the fucking Star. Are you kidding? Dude. Holy shit, Aquarius. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of the cards that you just pulled as advice were major arcana cards. Except for the Ace of Wands. But that's a fucking ace, so that's exciting as well. Holy shit, guys. You Aquarians, you even pulled your own card, the Star. You guys really need to get out in the world. Your advice, it's essentially that you are at a time now of rebuilding. Your advice is that it's time to discern what it is that you want to create. You literally have everything that you need at the moment. You have done a lot of inner work, even if you feel like you haven't been like, you know, actively like trying to heal all this stuff. It feels like just naturally you've been on a path of really overcoming some dark stuff that you had going on. And so with the Star coming out, you know, this card means that you've overcome the darkness. You've overcome the darkest hours before the light. You know what I mean? This card is all about essentially the rebirth again after moving through a period where everything has to fall and crumble. So you've already been through the crumbling at this point. I think that you guys have already been through enough toxic relationships and experiences and circumstances and connections to say, okay, we got to end this here. We got to change up this vibration. We got to change up the way this energy is manifesting, because I'm just flat out not happy with it anymore. The World card is asking you to move out into the world, the Star. Like, what are your dreams? It's time to be seen. It's time to get out there. It's time to, you know, put yourself in circumstances and in places where you can be seen again. Like, I feel like you guys literally, some of you, the Aquarians that I'm tapped into, like, you guys have been in full hermit mode. And it's funny because Aquarius is the sign of the collective, of humanity, of groups, of friends, of networks. But it's also a sign that is can be extremely isolated and can be misunderstood and can be an outcast, you know? So I feel like in a way you've been in an outcast period where you've sort of like chosen to outcast yourself because the relationships that you weren't attracting were fucking toxic, were toxic as anyway. So what's the point, you know what I mean, of even continuing to be out in the world and keep attracting that. The Strength card is saying that you have some demons inside that you have been able to master, and you still are mastering them. All these cards are really saying that you have everything at their fingertips to manifest a whole new story. This isn't just about a relationship. This is what these cards are saying. This isn't just about relationships. This is about manifesting and creating and writing yourself an entire new story for your life in general. Because, you know, when you write this new story of one aspect of life, then you're rewriting the story of everything. Because, you know, we're our lives are interconnected. We can't just think that, like, you know, everything's separate, because it's not like that. We're literally I'm thinking of, like, you know what the image I'm getting of? I'm getting an image of a big ass octopus with all these tentacles coming out, and, like, you know, he's tentacle over here and he's got a tentacle over here, and all these tentacles are able to do all these different things, and yet they're all still attached to the one body. They're all still attached to the one octopus. So, you know, there's all these different aspects and elements of life, but they're all still attached to the core of you. And by you actually healing and working with you, and really healing your emotional landscape, if that makes any sense, that's just completely opening you up to receiving a whole new level of life. Like, I feel like your frequency is changing, and you're now taking control, because you're not allowing your thoughts and your beliefs to sort of rule you. I feel like with this star in the world, you know, you're starting to have faith and belief again. It's like having ideas that excite you again. It's like the more, with this Ace of Wands, the more you get excited. Look, this Lover card, it says unbridled. It says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. So it doesn't have to be an actual person. It can be falling in love with life again. I feel like July, that's what this is. This is you falling in love with life again. And by falling in love with life again, you're going to actually fall in love with someone. You're going to fall in love with a person. Someone's coming to you because you're healing, you know what I mean? Your success comes when you really pay attention to your healing, when you really allow yourself to restore what needs to be restored, you know, when you pour into yourself. Both of these cards, this is the water bearer energy that you are. You are the person who is here to bring water to the whole village, you know. You bring awareness, you bring light, you bring joy, you bring restoration, you bring healing to the entire community, to the entire collective. So if you're out of sorts, then you're essentially not being able to do what you came here to do, which is to essentially be the manifestation of your desire, you know what I mean? To be the manifestation of exactly what it is that you feel called to be in this life. Like, I feel like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like it kind of does, because it's like you're here to be what you believe in, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you guys, you're here to like be the change you see in the world. That's kind of what it is, you know. You're not here to just preach and talk about it. You're here to actually do something about it. And so with this Strength card at the star, you know, it's not about thinking about it anymore. It's not about imagining it about it anymore. It's about doing it. It's about getting out and putting yourself in situations and circumstances that will have the potential to bring new opportunity in. You're meant to be seen. This is a period of time where, you know, this card even has a crown on it, you know. We were talking about Leo, your opposite, before. You and Leo both have one thing in common. So many things in common. You're on the trajectory, but the thing is, both of you are associated with the ego. Aquarius can sometimes be caught up in the ego in the sense of, I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to rebel. I want to, you know, do things differently. And that can come from the ego in the sense that, well, my ego says that I want to be different. And so, you know, that's still the ego. Whereas Leo might be more like, well, I want to be known for my affluence. I want to be known for my creativity and my beauty and all that sort of thing. You know, I'm royal, I'm divine. So we all of us have Leo and Aquarius in our charts. We all have 11th house, we all have a 5th house. So, you know, we all have these energies within us. And this World card is showing me, you literally, it feels like Leo and it feels like Aquarius. It feels like taking care of you so that you can shine and take care of the collective. Because you need to, you know, it's feeling like you've been the outcast for so long that you've forgotten how to put the crown on your own head and be seen. You've forgotten how to put yourself out in the world again. You've forgotten how to connect with people the way you used to connect with people. And July has you sort of just like waking up to this and really focusing on how you can heal through this as well. I feel like it's really a month that has you looking at your resources and everything differently. I think that you're going to be thinking more positively about everything because you're being pushed. Because the universe is pushing you because, you know, your desires are there for a reason. They're driving you. They're pushing you. You know, I feel like you're being woken up to what's been missing for a long time. And I think that you guys have been missing love. You've been missing connection. You've been missing, you know, really just... You've been, you know what? You've also been missing like a sense of personal power. Personal power. We have Songlines Orca. Ooh. Some of you guys have not even been indulging in your creativity. Some of you guys might be good singers, you might be musicians, you might be painters, artists. You might just love going out in nature. For some of you guys, you haven't even been going out in nature. And this month has got you going, it's got you doing all the things, even if it's just the beginning stages, which it is, you know, it's got you getting out in the sun again and doing the things. So we have armadillo, groundedness, links with secrets, and moderation with the rhinoceros. So that's the thing as well. With these cards coming out, it kind of feels like, and with temperance too, moderation is your key to success. Taking care of yourself, balancing yourself, not going out and spending, you know, having a 3-day bender and then, you know, trying to have a 3-day healthy kick. You know, find balance, find moderation. It needs to be a lifestyle. It can't be that you just it has to be a lifestyle. It can't just be something that you decide to indulge in every now and again. You know what I mean? Secrets, moderation, groundedness. I feel like you've been keeping your heart a secret. I feel like you've literally been keeping the version of you that is... you've been keeping a version of you a secret. You've been hiding a version of you away. And I feel like it's like the version of you that you've been showing other people feels hard. It feels like it's hardened. It feels like it's almost got a shell. It feels like this dragon, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this harshness to it. Whereas I think that at underneath that, at the root of that, is actually a lot of, you have a really big heart, and you have a really big desire to, you know, have a really beautiful connection with your friends, and have a beautiful connection with your family, and a lover, and all that sort of stuff. And I think that maybe there's a part of you that, like, doesn't want to soften, and doesn't want to let go, and just be like, you know, sweet you again, which sounds so funny, but like, it feels like there's, like I said, the shell hardened, and so you haven't been wanting to come off as your authentic self, which is actually really kind, which is actually really genuine and compassionate. Instead, you've sort of needed to, like, stand in this power, stand in this, you know, protective mode. I feel like you've been in self-preservation and protective mode, and it's, you know, still important that you be discerning in where you do need to protect yourself, but at the same time, you know, allow yourself to be seen again, allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow people to see your emotions, allow people to see the way you feel, because holding it in forever, it's only going to burn you up, you know, at the end of the day. And this doesn't mean that you need to be like crazy, you know, a blubbering mess of emotions all over everyone, because I know that that would gross you out, Aquarius. You don't want to do that. It could be that, you know, you start creating music, you start writing poetry, you start doing something creative, you start doing something that really inspires you and excites you in the terms of being able to, like, express yourself in a certain way. So it's like, instead of like maybe going to a friend and crying about all this stuff, maybe it's going to a friend and being like, hey, I wrote this song about an experience I've had, do you want to listen to the song, you know? Stuff like that. I feel like it's just a month where you're healing your emotional landscape through finally dealing with some stuff that you've really needed to. It's kind of like you've been on the fence about, like, just actually changing your life for a long time, and this is the month where you're deciding to do it, because the star is here, the new beginning is here, the angels have called. You know, you can't stay in this energy anymore. You're being called out of where you are. You deserve more abundance, you deserve more connection, you deserve more love in your life, Aquarius. So, I'm going to leave your reading here. I hope that you enjoyed this. I would like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding us in all moments, for allowing me to receive and to deliver this reading to you. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through the link below and head to my website. I have live and pre-recorded readings, 25% off Cancer Sun and Leo Sun solar return in the month of July and August, so be sure to jump on that if you are a Cancer Sun or a Leo Sun, or you know someone. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that you want to recommend, if there's any, you know, video ideas, topic ideas, anything that you would like to suggest. I am open to all of that, so let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I think that that's about it. I will see you guys in the next reading, Aquarius. Have the most incredible July. Peace out.